rises for the win from 29 from the right hash. Kuz's kick is good. Here is Durant for the win. James for the win. It's gone. LeBron James at the buzzer.
We good.
Yeah, we good, man.
Hold on. I wanna say something. All right. 28-30. The Atlanta Hawks are 28-30. The Atlanta Hawks that were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Were.
The one that I was told should have won if Trey wasn't hurt and the refs was in Trey. So they're 28-30 though.
They are
this year.
We are.
So yeah. Okay. You have the floor now.
You have it.
Like you said, Wilson, the Hawks
You're 28-30.
28-30.
Yes.
10th in the Eastern Conference.
10th.
We were 2 games away from the NBA Finals last year. So let's get into what's going on with the Atlanta Hawks, right? I think one of the first things, they're still a young team. And I think they got a lot of success really early, right? My next point, we started off the season with a lot of injuries and dealt with a lot of COVID protocol where we had a lot of guys out. And a lot of teams actually canceled some of their games. The Hawks did not cancel many games. I think we canceled one game. A lot of teams got to cancel their games and make them up later in the season.
Because of how many people were.
I understand.
No, the entire Hawks team.
Right. Our entire starting lineup was out at one point in time. We didn't have a starter to play.
But you had enough to suit up as long as you have.
Yeah, we had
some 10-day contracts.
We were able to get 10-day contract players in. That's not our team.
Yeah.
How do you expect us to win when we don't have our team? All right, next thing.
What you about to look up? I don't know what you about to look up.
I'm about to look at how many games Trae Young has played. I'm about to look at how many games.
The
John
next
Collins
thing,
played. But go ahead.
The next thing is to your point, John Collins. I text y'all all the time, and I say the key to the Hawks' success is if John Collins averages 20 and 7, 20 points and at least 20 points and at least 7 rebounds. He is currently at 16 points.
Ooh.
And 7 rebounds, which is a little off, but
quite off.
Yeah, but for you to sign this contract, a 5-year, $125 million contract, I expect you to be that Robin, the Batman. Trae Young is going to do his thing. Trae Young is going to get 20, 30, 40 points, 10 assists every night. You signed this contract. We hesitated on giving you this contract because we weren't sold enough for you to be that Robin. And in the offseason, we said, okay, let's go ahead and give it to him. So we give it to you. I think there are times in the game where Collins does not dominate enough for me. It's great seeing the lobs, watch your head when he's getting those lobs from Trae. That's all, well and nice. But I think he does have a low post game that doesn't get featured enough. A lot of times when Trae gets in those pick and rolls, John Collins gets he has a mismatch where he can go at somebody, but they either don't get it to him, or when he does get it to him, he's looking to pass and still try to, run some offense instead of, look, we got the pick and roll, we succeeded. You got a mismatch. Go take it. And I think he has a very explosive first move, and he does have a decent bag where he can get his shot in the post. He can create and get a shot. And a lot of times when you're watching the Hawks, he does that in like the first quarter. He does that like 2 or 3 times in the first quarter, and then he just strays away from it for the rest of the game. And I don't like that. I think John Collins should be featured more in the offense. Outside of just the lob, threats from Trae. That's one thing. The next thing is we lack on the defensive
I was
end.
about to, that's my point.
We
That's
lack
my
on the
biggest thing.
defensive end. One of the things that helped us excel and progress in the playoffs was on the defensive end. We were rated like top 15 or top 10 in defense the later part of the season last year going into the playoffs. This season, we're ranked down at the bottom. I don't know the exact number. We're ranked, fairly poorly compared to the rest of the league on the defensive end. We give up a lot of threes. Like if you watch the Hawks, they give up endless amount of threes night after night after night. And we can make some of the most decent players look like all-stars. And it grinds my
Malik
gears.
Monk.
Yeah, it grinds my
Malik
gears.
Or
It grinds
Tucker.
my gears sometimes watching him, and it's just like guard the three. Like just go out there and put a hand in their face, like something. So that's pretty much my spiel for that. I think the Hawks will start to turn around. Like I said, we're at 10 right now. We're in the playoff. We're in the play-in. I think we will stay in the play-in. I think it's going to be hard to gain ground to get up to that top 6. But I think depending on the matchup that we get in the playoffs, I think we'll win our play-in. So if we get the Miami Heat, it's going to be tough, but I think we can play with them. And it really those top four really is going to be close though, because they, 1 through 4, Miami, Chicago, Milwaukee, Cleveland, they're all separated by 2 games. So that could fluctuate day after day. So we could end up seeing the Cavaliers. We just beat the Cavaliers the other night.
Yeah.
We beat them, I think,
I would
twice.
take the Hawks over the Cavs
Yeah.
in the series.
Now the Bulls will be a tough, and definitely Milwaukee will be. I don't think we could beat
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
Bulls don't have Caruso or Ball right now.
Yeah.
So I would say the doors might be open. I
Yeah.
picked the Bulls, but the door might be open.
So I think we still have a chance to make some noise. We definitely got to turn around on the defensive end. Antoine, you got anything to add to the Hawks, man? They've disappointed me this season.
Oh, me too. Man,
I'm going to still ride with them.
all day. I've been trying to pinpoint what it is for the longest, and I cannot put my finger on it. And it upsets me. Like when I see the game, I'm like, defense. That's my thing. I'm like, defense. It's really bad, and it's like a lack of effort thing. It's like I see you not even trying. So after Travis Slink said that comment, like he went on the radio and said that, and
What did he say?
this was before he traded Cam Reddish to the Knicks.
Oh yeah. I
And
recall,
it was just a comment about how
questioning
he
if he's
sees
put the team together.
Yeah. And he went in the Hawks. Like he was like, bro, nobody's safe. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the trade deadline coming up. I see you guys not putting in effort on the court every single day. Your job's not safe. You know what I'm saying? Then they traded Cam Reddish, and then we went on a run. We started winning. You know what I'm saying?
And part of the reason why we were winning was because, and they said it, I think like when we were 3 games into the winning streak, we had all of our players active. We didn't have anybody on the injured list. So I think that's a major point. I know you said, just no biggie, but
Everybody's had
That's big.
injuries. That's.
yeah, and I get it.
I've
but
talked to a lot of Hawks fans about why, and they say
That was our
COVID
first
injuries.
time-
I mean, we all dealt with that.
yeah, that was our first time in the season where we had all of our
Everybody.
players active and
Yeah.
nobody on the injured list.
Yeah. So now I'm confused because the whole team is healthy now.
Yeah.
Nobody's injured now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Well, John Collins
is now, but
Back hurt.
yeah, now after 2 games, we were losing when he was in the lineup though.
Yeah.
I'm perplexed. You know what I'm saying? I can't quite put my finger on it. But I do know we were actually worse last year than we are now at this point in the season. We went into the All-Star break last year like what, 20-30 or something like that. It was crazy.
You know what
So-
y'all sound like? That sound like the Westbrook fans that are like, well, he starts every year bad. It's going to be great. Just wait till after the All-Star game.
No, what I'm saying is we've turned it around before,
Yeah.
hmm
and it's possible.
It could happen again. Yeah.
I do not want the play-in game. I believe in any given Sunday. In basketball, that's more true than any other sport. Like, well, it's that baseball. Like, football usually the better
Y'all are a
team.
bad
gonna win.
Trey game away from going home after.
Bro, if
Trey.
Trey has a bad game, we lose.
Yeah.
Trey's not scoring 15 points and we're winning. That's not a thing. It's never been a thing.
I love Trey's growth.
Oh yeah.
In him running the point and running the offense and facilitating and getting those assists. Like he gets everybody involved, and it's not stagnant. Now I do have problems sometimes when Trey comes up and he just shoots these half court shots.
I hate it.
I really don't like those.
I hate it.
When they do go in, I'm okay, but I really don't like it because that's not the offense.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they come at bad times, right? So sometimes they come like we've just went on this run and we're down like 2 points, and now he wants to shoot this half court 3 to give us the lead.
Yeah.
That is a bad place to shoot a half court 3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You've done all this work to get within 2 points. Run the same offense that you've been doing and just get a good shot. Don't just come up, do a little dance, 1-2 in and out, step back 3. No.
Logo Trey.
Run the offense. Run some pick and
offense.
rolls. Get some cuts going. Whatever the case may be. That's one of my problems with Trey. Like I said, when we're coming back and he just shoots these off the wall 3s, I'm really not a fan of logo 3s. They happen. If it goes in, it goes in. But I'm not a fan of it.
Man, I'm not either, bro. What you about to say?
During the playoff run last year, I thought about the depth of the Hawks. And I think I told y'all this. I told a lot of people this. I said, now is the time to cash in on a lot of these players while their stock is high. I do not think they're going to win with Trey as a star and then a bunch of role players around him. So that was the time to cash in on DeAndre Hunter and Cameron. Like, put a package together that can get you a star. I wasn't really big on the Ben Simmons, idea, but
I disagree, man. They were using the Golden State Warriors approach to building a team. The general manager came from Golden State. He was a part of. Well, he wasn't a part of the championships because he was here, but
Drafting.
he was part. He drafted.
I hear you. I feel
you know what I'm saying?
But,
So it was
because I think we have really great young talent that just needs time to develop. Like I told you guys, I'm really high on DeAndre Hunter.
Oh, bro, me too.
And I was somewhat high on Cam Reddish, but I was more high on DeAndre Hunter.
right.
So I was okay with the Cam Reddish trade. The only downfall about it is DeAndre Hunter has been really hurt over these last couple seasons.
The issue with taking the Golden State approach is there's one Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And they also have Klay Thompson, who I think is probably the second greatest shooter of all time. And then there's Draymond Green. Like, the Warriors situation cannot be duplicated. Like, I think if you run a simulation 1,000,000 times, it only happens once. You get Steph Curry. He has ankle injuries early on, so you're able to re-sign him on at a discount.
Team friendly.
You also draft Klay Thompson, who ends up being the second, third, fourth greatest shooter of all time. You get Draymond Green in the second round, who ends up being one of the smartest offensive and defensive players of all time. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And then the salary cap jumps, and then you're able to get Kevin Durant. It's like, that's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
I understand the rationale,
Yeah.
but when I looked at the Hawks' talent, I kind of felt like how I feel about THT now. Like, I'm like, some of these guys I think are going to plateau a lot faster than we think, and then their value is going to dip. That's
Now I
how
do
saw it.
agree. The Hawks are missing a Robin, and that's why I wanted John Collins to be that Robin, but he's just not becoming that we need him to be. And it's like every night it's Trey and who else is it going to be? It's Trey and Collins one night.
Every night.
It's Trey and DeAndre one night.
Yeah.
It's Trey and Red Velvet one night. It just changes. And in the NBA, you need your stars to get you there. Your role players, they are part of the process, but you need
Someone you could pencil
LeBron,
in
you
for
need
20 and
Dwayne,
7.
you need Wade to get you there.
The way the NBA is set up now, salary cap wise, with the shorter contracts and the max contracts going to role players, like, a lot of teams have to re-sign guys at a price that is much more than they're worth.
Yeah.
Because if they lose them, they don't get that money back. Because a lot of these teams are functioning over the cap anyway. So, like, that's why the Hawks have to overpay for John Collins. That's why the Knicks have to give Julius Randle a max, even though and he probably knows he's not that guy to lead the team. But just the way the salary cap is set up, you gotta deal with that and hope that the player isn't too overvalued to where now you can't move them.
Yeah.
So John Collins, I mean, They couldn't let him go because they weren't going to get that money back. So if anything, you still have him as a trade piece if you want to use him in the future.
And that's why his name still came up in the trade rumors this past trade season, because I don't think the Hawks are 100%.
No.
You know, they're just kind of like 65, 75%.
Yeah, you gotta
like, you know, they had to extend that offer towards him in the offseason because of the chemistry, his talent wise. He was gonna go somewhere else and get paid top dollar regardless. He was one of the top free agents this past season. But like I said, just that chemistry with him and Trey is out of this world, in my opinion. I think they're great together. I just need more from Collins. I need more from everybody. You know, Bogey, I know, you know, Nate has put Bogey on the bench and has him coming off the bench.
It's a better look for him.
It is a better fit for him. But he's another one. He's getting paid a lot to come off the bench. So
between him and Gallo,
now we're back in this salary cap, situation again.
We are.
Sometimes depth can be. This can sound weird, but sometimes depth can make things really tough on a team because
too many good players.
We have
too many good players. Somebody's
going
to have to sacrifice. Somebody's sacrificing the game. Somebody's not going to develop as much as they could. You know,
that was a Cam Reddish thing.
We were talking about we talked about this during the playoffs. The Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter. I was like, they're going to have to make a choice.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to keep both. You have to make a choice. So they chose DeAndre Hunter, and we'll see. But you know, the Hawks are 28-30. I just want to reiterate that.
I mean, we do have a better record than the Lakers.
I mean, but we're 9 and y'all are 10. Too. So
do y'all not have the quote unquote GOAT on your team?
He's not my GOAT.
I mean, he's one of the top 2 players that ever played this game.
Absolutely. And he's 37.
And the Hawks have a better
And we had injuries and we dealt with COVID as well. Our second best player missed half the season.
We beat the Lakers.
Yeah, we
y'all are 1-1 against us.
We'll beat y'all.
And we beat y'all. So what?
Anyways, so while we were talking, and this is not on the Hawks, I thought of another question. I was actually thinking about this the other day when I was watching this team, and I want to know you guys' opinion on these two individuals. They play for the Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum and Jalen Brown. Do you guys think moving forward that this tandem is going to work, and will it ever bring a championship to the city of Boston?
I've been on the camp of saying they should split them up, but then I've rethought it and they just need a point guard.
Yeah.
They need a point guard that can run the offense. The issue with the Celtics, well, right now they're on fire.
Yeah.
But in general, the issue with the Celtics is, especially late games, they don't have an offense either. There are a lot of teams in the NBA that don't have an offense.
What are the coaches doing? What do we pay the coaches for?
Everything is
ISO.
Yeah.
ISO is high pick and roll, spread them, and I get it, but you need to have some type of actions. The teams that are winning have certain sets and things that work for them. The Warriors have so many different combinations. I watched more Suns this year than I watched any other year, and I know their plays now.
Yeah.
They have their sets that they're okay. This is about to happen. You watch some teams. It's what is the plan? A lot of teams don't have an offense. But if you put a legit point guard on the Celtics, I think Jalen Brown and Jayson Tatum could work. They still need other pieces.
But see, the reason I ask is because I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Jalen Brown should be an all-star.
Absolutely,
and I agree with that. To a certain extent, because in my opinion, I think Jalen Brown and Jayson Tatum are the same player in a sense. And I think because of that, they're always
a duplication.
Yes, a duplication. And one, you can't get both, right? One is going to always outshine the other because they're in a sense the same. That's why I don't think they're ever going to work out. I think they have to break them up.
But yeah, I think a point guard can help with that.
Yeah.
I think Jaylen Brown is a better defender. I think if they can get him to be the quote-unquote stopper, and if Jayson Tatum can take his game to the next level as a scorer and as a leader, that may help. One thing that plagues a lot of NBA teams too is just a lack of leadership. There's no leader. You got a bunch of hoopers.
Yeah.
But you have leaders. They're still young. So do I think it's going to yield a championship? Few teams win a championship. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. like I said, you go
But
back.
I think they're closer if they break them up. Because we've seen the Celtics not really get far. I think the furthest they went was the Eastern Conference Final, 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago.
They've gone at least twice. They went against the Heat. They went against LeBron. I feel like they went another time to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals at least twice.
And I get it. They're still young, but in my opinion, they're not that young.
Yeah,
I feel like they're both
something's got to give
in their at the beginning of their prime. Like this is their prime. Like they should be at the top of the league. And the reason I feel like they're not, and they don't get the recognition as quote unquote like a top 10 type of player, is because they're both the same. They're the same player. That's what it is.
I can see that. Like I said, I've been big on split them up, but I'm a Laker fan, so I don't care what the Celtics do anyways.
Niggas are trash.
Terrible.
Thank you for joining us on the For the Win Vodcast.
Make sure you follow us on IG at For the Win Vodcast, on YouTube at For the Win, on Apple Music, on Spotify. We are everywhere.
For the win. And we out.
Peace.
Yes, sir.